Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Coffee with Hila. Hope you had a good week. The sad thing about trying to be an advocate for Israel or telling the world about our lives is to find out that people have zero interest in the truth. The truth doesn't matter. People are so locked in that misconception of two sides to every story that they are refusing to see the truth, literally refusing to see the truth. And if they see the truth, it doesn't mean anything to them. It's really sad to realize that, because as a child I used to think, if only they knew what we are going through, if only they knew the truth, if only they knew our reality, then people would definitely side with us. And then you go to the streets of London like I did yesterday, and you counter protest, the hate fest of people whose faces are literally Bin Laden's, and all the little white colonizer puppies who hold out signposts and tell us, the indigenous Jews of the land of Israel, that we are white colonizers. It's like, seriously, there were so many brain dead people there yesterday that it was shocking to behold. Little babies, little kids like as young as 3 years old on somebody's shoulder, covered in kafir all over with just his eyes showing like a terrorist. And you think, what the hell are these people teaching those children? And little kids screaming at us, like swearing at us, like that small. And you think the world has gone mental. It's literally, the truth doesn't play a part in anything. And there has been a discussion this week about whether Israel should or should not show the public around the world the uncensored version of the atrocities committed against us on the 7th of October. I am 100% sure this is going to be the biggest mistake of our lives. Not because we have anything to hide, but because it gives the world a feeling that they have a justification to judge us, to demand explanation for our right to exist. It's like taking a woman who's been raped when she's in court and she's trying to get the man who raped her arrested, and they ask her to show them the video of her being raped. This is despicable. This is literally despicable that people even think of wanting to get this kind of proof in their faces from us. And apart from it being a complete distortion of what justice is all about, sadly, many people would just gain satisfaction from seeing our suffering, whereas those who don't need to see it, which is our people, are going to suffer so much more for the fact that they've actually been exposed to those horrors in visualization of real time of what has happened. This is an unthinkable thing to do to our people. I think we've suffered enough, and there is zero justification for showing it to the world. The world is not interested in the truth. The world is not interested in finding a reason to eradicate Gaza. It's not just Hamas, they're all Hamas. They said it many times. Biden and his puppets demanding we don't go to Rafah so that we don't uncover all the tunnels, some of which are leading to Egypt. God knows if the people that have been kidnapped from Israel, those who are still alive, how can we guarantee they're not in Egypt now? And the world gets in to the core of our war as if it's something to do with them. And media has a big part in it. Media has, they are the main responsible people for the hatred against Israel, is how they portray everything that is happening in Israel, how they get into the ins and outs of a war which is nothing to do with them, and how they portray what is happening there, one-sidedly relying upon messages that they receive from a terrorist organization, from murderers, relying upon some kind of ideology, genocidal and ideology against the only Jewish state in this world that you can't even flipping write its name on the map. It has to be written on the sea because it's so small. And they twist it and turn it. It's like they enjoy to see the world turn against Israel. It has been the media's purpose all along. When you watch the BBC, you can literally puke from the disgusting interviews of how they try and grill Israeli advocates and Israeli spokespeople. And then, and it's like, and you get to the point and you say, honestly, I don't give a damn if you believe the truth or not. We have a right to exist. This is our ancestral homeland. We have been there all along. We have been there all along, despite of persecutions, despite of us having to escape to other countries like Arab countries where we're still being persecuted, and other places around the world where there's Jews in Iran that at the moment are being, there's a 20-year-old Jew in Iran that the Islamic Republic of Iran is threatening to execute. They wanted to execute him yesterday. They've postponed it to tomorrow for simply being a Jew. And IRGC is not classed as a terrorist organization. No, they are the Human Rights Committee spokespeople of the UN. This is like, this world is literally effed up. Honestly, I don't have any other word. I stood there yesterday. We stood with those signs. We had people coming next to us and telling us, well done you, well done for doing this. Thank you for doing this. British Christian people walking down the street who've literally had enough. And they tell us, well done for doing this. And then we find out that the 70-year-old man from our counter-protest, the love protest, because if you will see what we stand for, if you see the big banners that we had, and everything that we stand for was for love, for peace. And then some girl that stood, he was behind, we were held in like a pen, like animals, where they should have been, but yeah, they have to protect us. So we're like guarded with 2 layers of metal barriers and the 2-tier crap policing. So one of them facing us, the other one facing them. So there was 2 barriers of metal, and there was 2 layers of police people, and some pro-Pali terrorist shithead started screaming as if a man, 70-year-old man, sexually assaulted her by touching her ass. He wasn't capable of reaching her flipping ass. He was miles away from her. But his wife was holding a sign that they support, it said like something like rape supporters of our streets, or you support rapes. And then the man told that woman something in the room. The man who stood next to that woman who was wearing a high vis, she was one of the organizers of ensuring that everything goes well in their hate fest. He whispered something in her ear, and then she made this show. And the man that she made the allegation against was holding his wife's hand the whole time. They had one hand holding a poster and one hand holding each other. But the police arrested him. And he's been there till the night. I have no idea what's happening at the moment. But this is despicable. It's like I would say that somebody at the end of my road sexually assaulted me when he's nowhere near me. And he's going to get arrested. Just because I started making a show. And this is what they've been doing this entire few weeks. There was a woman in my gym who started wearing a bracelet of the terrorist organization flag, the PLO, you like to call it the Palestinian flag, the made-up Never Never Land. And she was trying to cause provocation. I swear it raised my blood pressure, but I said nothing. She saw that it didn't get the reaction she was after, so she brought a kafia in. So she wore her kafia, and as I was about to exit the gym with my friend who's a rabbi, and she approached, she was glaring at me. And I told my friend, oh my God, she's wearing a kafia. I can't see this. I need to leave because I would have lost it. I told her, let's go. And she didn't understand. My friend didn't understand what I was talking about. And when we exited, I explained to her, and she was shocked. And she looked back and she saw the kafia and she was shocked. But then that woman went to our favorite, best personal trainer who actually makes that gym what it is. A safe space that is open and is welcoming to everybody. It's so inclusive. And that personal trainer, she's Polish, she's Christian, she sides with nobody. She battled cancer last year. She beat cancer. She is like the heart and soul of that gym. And this woman went to her and started on at her and told her, you're siding with the Jews in the gym. You are doing this, you are doing that. And she hasn't said anything. We haven't approached the personal trainer. We haven't told the personal trainer anything. The personal trainer saw her wearing the keffiyeh and she didn't say anything. She had approached, the girl with the keffiyeh approached the personal trainer and started accusing her. And then she went on to the highest management of the gym and complained about this personal trainer, that she is siding and that she is not welcoming to everybody, or whatever she wrote. And when we saw that personal trainer a few days later, she was nearly in tears, and we asked her what's happened. And she told us the story. And it's like, I don't understand how people don't see it. It's like flipping Nazi Germany all over again. Don't you see they're trying to isolate us? They are trying to isolate us. They try and boycott the Eurovision. They try and boycott us from FIFA, from football matches. They try and boycott the film festival, which is Israeli Film Festival. We literally have no right to exist in this fucking world. I'm sick and tired of it. And the world is following like herd. You see these women with bras marching yesterday. I want to see her marching in Gaza with these bras. She'll be slaughtered or raped within seconds. You know, it's like, wow, honestly, I came home yesterday and I wasn't the only one. All of us who were there, I don't know, I think we were about 400 people against 400,000 of hate-filled eyes, murderers, literally. And their puppies, the Jews for Palestine, capos. And the man that was, there was a man who was interviewed by the BBC, a Jew for Palestine. His name was Stephen Kapos. The name says it all. He's a flipping capo. These people are the worst because they'll be the first in the gas chambers. They don't count them at all. They're useful to them. They're being used. You know, I believe in God. I know you can believe in the universe, in karma, in whatever you want. I believe in God, and God puts us in situations in our lives because we each have a purpose. And I've suffered narcissism for many years of my life. I think only to bring me to that point where I'm able to recognize it from a mile away. And the Palestinian narrative is a narcissistic narrative. It's a narcissistic monster, and people fall for it. All these empaths that fall for this are blind. They will wake up one day because it's gonna slap them on the face. Because these people don't give a damn about them. If they manage to turn them into Muslim radical jihadists who will actually stab people and kill them on the streets, then they've achieved their goal. Other than that, they'll just get rid of them. The same as, by the way, what happened with the Islamic Republic of Iran when they had the Mujahideen siding with them in order to get Pahlavi out. The Mujahideen was licking the asses of the Islamic Republic of Iran, of the regime, of the IRGC, and then once they got into power, they went after the Mujahideen people. And this is going to be exactly the same, because all those puppets of the Palestinian fraudulent narrative of the oppressors, because they are the oppressors, they are the aggressors, there's no Nakba, that's a Nakba lie bullshit, is all made up because they have been forced out by their own people because they hoped to get rid of us. So, you know, and the people like say, oh, the oppressed. No, they are not oppressed. Jeffrey Dahmer was not oppressed. He was a murderer. They are murderers. They are not oppressed. They are sick-minded people committed to the eradication of an entire nation. And all those idiots marching with them on the streets of London, looking at us in the eyes and holding signs saying the IDF soldiers are terrorists, they can lick the feet of our IDF soldiers before they become anything close to the level of humanity that our soldiers have. I saw the faces of two of our recent fallen soldiers first thing this morning when I opened my eyes. Just after, I looked at all the photos and videos we had from yesterday's march. And the antithesis, the contrast, is screaming to hell. This is like blatant evil on the streets of London versus the purest of souls that this world has created. And it doesn't matter how people try and twist it. It doesn't matter how many genocidal slogans and posters they're going to hold in front of everyone. Their marches were full of blood libels and contradictions because they say they're for peace. We don't hate Jews. Oh, somebody had a thing. I don't hate Jews. No, you just hate Zionists. You just hate the fact that I exist and my family exists in Israel. Why not eradicate them? Why not? The Hezbollah is just very sweet, sending rockets occasionally. It's okay. They're oppressed. They finished off Lebanon. They eradicated the Christians in Lebanon. And now they're after the Jews. Well, they never stopped being after the Jews, but at the same time, they just ensured that Lebanon ceased to exist as a Christian modern country. And the people don't see it. The people on the streets don't see it. And people are stuck in the misconception of the two sides to every story, because I speak to people who are beautiful people who I know, plain English people, like everybody else, and they live their lives, and they tell me things like, well, it's a good thing that you both have the ability to free speech and to express yourself. Free speech? Free speech? Would it be okay if I wore a sign saying all blacks should be terminated from this planet? Is that going to be accepted? Can I walk down the street and write that Mr. Smith is committing genocide because I just feel like doing that? Is that okay? Is there no libel here? Why is everything okay when it's to do with us? Why is it okay to walk in London with genocidal slogans calling for our eradication, blaming us in things which we've never committed, having pictures of Bibi Netanyahu as if he's Satan, and even Rishi Sunak, by the way, they had pictures of everybody that they don't approve of. And they instead of, I think swastika is one of the things they may not have been allowed to draw, so they just wrote evil in a way that looked like it, on their faces. The amount of hatred that was pouring out from this march, the violence, the spitting, the threats, the slit throat signs, somebody coming to one of our women, telling her at the end of it, that was after it all dispersed, telling her, oh, my brother is Hamas, he lives in Gaza, he was chopping the heads of your hostages, you're next. The police? Nada. The two-tier policing. Somebody phoned the police, somebody that I know phoned the police yesterday because somebody broke into her house. He said he found her key. He broke into her house, she called the police and they told her, we don't have any police available. They're all in town, securing the march. Securing what march? So London is a free crime zone now? You can just do whatever you want? Complete anarchy? Because the police has to guard from those monsters? You don't need two-tier policing because we don't pose a threat to anyone. This is just another bullshit lie that they tell themselves. And they go and ask to be protected from us. If I'm going to show on my Instagram the photos and videos from yesterday. It screams to high heaven how we are the peace, the love, the acceptance, the hugging, we are love and they are hate. We are white and they are black. We are good and they are evil. There is no other way. You cannot tell me there are two sides to every story here. They're oppressed by their own. They're oppressed because they choose to be oppressed. And they are murderers, nothing less. And all those people, these women marching, supporting rapists because of lies they've been fed on BBC and Sky News and other media channels to portray us as the evils. God sees everything. The only hope I have in this world is that God sees everything and he's gonna do justice. I trust him to do the work that we are not allowed to do. Okay, until next week. I had my rant. I had to let it out. See you then. Have a good week.